video demonstration, I'll show how to perform moderation analysis in SPSS, and that is if you do not have the process macros as an add-on to your SPSS. So it's kind of the old way of doing moderation analysis, but principles of how it's done this way is very similar to how the process handles the moderation. So the data set we'll use in this example is in relation to Beachbody Ready advert, and we have records for 4 variables, so the attitude to the advert, and we measure how negative people perceive the advert, self-esteem, perceived media pressure, and body appreciation. The hypothesis that we want to test is, does body appreciation, so people having a high appreciation of their own body, moderates the relationship between perceived media pressure and negative attitude towards the advert. So in this setup, we have negative attitude to advert as the dependent variable, perceived media pressure as the predictive variable, and body appreciation as the moderator variable. So to answer this question, we need to perform a moderation analysis. And the main interest is, does the body appreciation affects the relationship between perceived media pressure and negative attitude towards the advert? So we're testing this particular model. Media pressure predicts attitude to advert, and body appreciation may have an effect on the strength of the relationship. So let's have a look at our data set. So we have our media pressure, self-esteem, body appreciation, and attitude. So in this analysis, we only use 3 variables: media pressure, body appreciation, and an attitude. Because moderation is same as an interaction, we need to compute the interaction term between the 2 independent variables, of which one is a predictor and another one is a moderator. To do that, we first need to center them. So we center them to the mean, and for that we need to find the mean for media pressure and for the body appreciation. So we'll go to descriptive statistic descriptives, and we put 2 variables that we're interested in into our variable box and press OK. So here we have our variable means, i.e. descriptive statistics for our variables. Let's make it smaller. So these are the 2 values we're interested in. We are centering our existing independent variable to their respective mean values. So to center, go to transform compute variable, and the first one will center the body appreciation variable. So we'll call it CBA, centered body appreciation, and we'll have body appreciation minus 3.3875, so minus the mean of that variable, and we press OK. So SPSS output tells us that the variable was computed, and here we have our centered variable. So what we have is the, which one we say, body appreciation. So what we have is body appreciation of 4 minus the mean of body appreciation will give us 0.61 for that participant, and that happens for all participants. Some of them have positive values, some of them have negative values, because some of them are above the mean and others are below the mean. So the next one, we need to center our predictor variable, which is the median. And the process is exactly the same. Transform compute variable, so we can reset it, and we'll do centered media pressure, and we'll go to media pressure minus its respective mean, which is 3.4883. 3.4883. Okay. Okay, so we have our two centered variables. One is the variable that we're going to use as the moderator, another one as a predictor. So now we need to compute the interaction term between the predictor variable and the moderator variable. To do that, we'll go to transform compute variable, and we call it centered variable. So it's centered BA times centered media pressure, MP. And in here, we just basically multiply them, because interaction term is the multiplication of two factors. In our case, moderation term is the multiplication of two predictors, times CMP. Okay. So now we got our moderator effect, so our interaction. To perform analysis, go to Analyze, Regression, Linear, and our dependent variable is negative attitude. And now we need to enter our predictor variable, our moderator variable in the first step. And in the next step, in the second step, we enter our interaction. In statistics, we are in particularly interested in the R-square change. We can also look at descriptives and other statistics, but let's keep it simple for now. And plus we already know from other analysis that all these variables are fine. And we press OK. Okay, so this is the output of the regression, or of our testing of moderation. So in the first model, or in the first step, we entered the predictive variable and the moderator, and in the second step we entered the interaction between the two variables. So in the model we can see that the predictor variable and the moderator variable, i.e. the main effect of the two independent variables we're using, accounts for 15.7% of variance, and it's significant. And in step 2, we see that the moderator, or the moderation, accounts for additional 2.8% of variance, and we actually see that it's not significant. So already at this stage we see that body appreciation does not have an effect on the relationship between media pressure and negative attitude to advert. The model overall is significant, but the model overall is judged as significant mainly because we have main effect of body appreciation and main effect of media pressure. Likely, we've got to check that. So in here we can see what's happening. So the media pressure has a significant effect on negative attitudes to advert, but body appreciation actually contributes nothing to the model. It's like almost at zero. If we look at the step 2, we can see in here that our moderation effect is not significant. And this significance level is exactly the same as this significance level for our step. To conclude, we can say that there was a relationship between media pressure and negative attitudes to adverts, uh, and body appreciation did not moderate this relationship. And this is basically how you would test the moderation using a simple linear regression menu, um, and entering main effects in the first block and interaction term in the second block.